Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's June 4th, 2024. We're in for a hot one today. With the high humidity, it'll get up to about 86 degrees Fahrenheit today, which is pretty warm for us since it's been relatively cool lately. But today we're going to use some of the paper, the rolled paper sheet mulching system that we've done in a couple of videos. And I haven't rolled it out before, but I'll roll it out in video today, potentially, if things go well. So we're over here in the western garden plot. This is where I got things up to the other day, day before yesterday. We came in, we weed whacked, Thea weeded around each one of the honeyberry plants. Got that done pretty darn well. Then I used the tilther to go ahead and disrupt the surface of the soil so I could smooth it out some, so it came out pretty good. And let's see what else. So it's done around here pretty well. What we're going to do today is pull. I had unstapled this weed mat before, and I used the leaf blower to clean off much of the material that I threw up on top of the plants and on top of the weed mats with the weed whacker. But we'll move the weed fabric back a little bit, and then we'll lay down a roll down here. I think what I'll do, instead of putting us two rows in here, two side by side 4-foot areas and then cutting out around here, I think what I'll do, and I forgot to mention, I also added leaf mulch leaf mold to this whole area as well. I used a little over 4 yards of leaf mold to go ahead and just add a little more organic material all around the honeyberry plants all along in here. And ultimately we'll want to get the double ground hardwood bark mulch, a nice thick layer on top of this, and put that weed fabric just on top of the double ground hardwood bark mulch. But we have a challenge. We only have a little bit of double ground hardwood bark mulch today. We do live in a high wind zone here, but if we put, so you really want to have that, any sort of weed mat, like when we put these weed mats down, if it's a windy day at all bets are off. It'll be a big fight trying to deal with it, and nothing turns out straight or even when you're working battling the winds here. It's a calm day so far today, so that's excellent. But with this being mounded up on the side here, I don't know that you can appreciate it, and this being lower, our path here, where we put the paper down, if I deposit what double ground hardwood bark mulch that we have, and just sort of like put a light covering on it, the wind potentially won't grab it, because we're not going to be able to get, looks like Friday is the earliest, so today's, which day, Tuesday? Today's Tuesday, so unless there's a cancellation, getting another 10 yards of the double ground hardwood bark mulch. So that's where we're at this point. So today I'm going to roll out the rolled paper, like cardboard, for sheet mulching. It is expensive stuff. Tim from Tim's World commented and said, wow, it's expensive, this stuff on Amazon. There was where was it? Was A.M. Leonard? I looked after Tim commented on it. So a Gempler's, it's expensive. We got 350 foot by 4 foot rolls. I can't remember. I should have checked before making this video. But it's expensive stuff. But you know, the truth is, everything's so darn expensive now. It's just crazy. So, you know, I'm hoping that this works out. At least it'd be great if I can get 2 to 3 years out of this. That would be great. We're getting at least 6 years out of our weed mats, so that investment really has paid out. And some of it's like 8 years, I think, that we've had. But we ended up switching over, going from the burnt holes in it to just putting single rows of plants, like you've seen in our videos. So enough jibber jabber. The stuff is expensive. The mulch is expensive. So whatever you can find that's within your price range, like I saw on Facebook quite a ways away, free hay for sale. Now, of course, there'll be weed seeds and all that, but boy, you could really add more organic material to your garden area there. And of course, nowadays you have to worry about the persistent herbicides used with some of the hay, hays that are there. Even with getting compost nowadays, I've made videos about persistent herbicides and how they persist and can damage or hinder the growth of your plants in your garden as a result of these herbicides that persist, even going through the digestive system of the livestock, making poop, composting it, and it still persists. So enough jibber jabber, back to work. Here we go. Okay, we just finished using up the last of the double ground hardwood bark mulch. We used the last of the second roll of the paper sheet mulching product, and that's what we got from Gempler's. And we needed to put some cardboard around in some locations, so we need a heck of a lot more, probably about 5 more yards, I'm guessing, to finish this off. So we want to put a nice thick layer on top of the leaf mold that's there, that's going to have weed seeds in it. Of course, the double ground hardwood bark mulch won't have many weed seeds in it, just a few. And so that's what we want to do. So we've got the paper, so it will stay down even if the winds do kick up, because it's going to be several days before we get the rest of the load in. Mulch this side of the paper just so the wind doesn't get up underneath it and start pulling it right up. And Thea went ahead and pulled the weed mat fabric over this side for now, so that should help. But usually the winds come out of the northwest there and blow right across here. So far pretty good. We can walk on the paper. It seems to be pretty solid. Once it gets wet, I'm sure it's going to soften up quite a bit. But we'll see how things work out here, bit by bit. And just moving the drip tape back closer to the honeyberry plants so that they're getting water throughout this week. I had pulled it back to do the work to get the leaf mold there, to get the weed mat, that black petroleum-based weed mat. I had pulled that back so that I could get the leaf mold down around all of these plants and support them more. And the one that I transplanted looks like it's doing okay so far. So we did have one right here, and I transplanted it here the day before yesterday. I think it's this one here that I transplanted. So pretty big plant this time of year to transplant, but I really soaked it in, and then I soaked it in a second time. So we probably won't get any rain right away, but we really need more. So we do want to shake off all the leaves. Because we want all of them to be able to do their photosynthesis. But that's with me using the Avant 860i, the Green Machine. And boy, I'll tell you, that is so amazing that it can reach up over these kennel panel, chain link panels here. You can see on the outside here, this is all raised, this bed. So it raised right up above here over that and dumped it partially on the honeyberry plants, but on top of the paper as well. So couldn't do that with any of my other machines except for the excavator, but that'd be a small little scoops at a time and then tearing up the ground around here. And the other thing that's pretty darn cool, although this is adequate with Optimus Maximus, I'd have to make like a 7 or 8 point turn here with the ballast on the back of it to make it and turn perpendicular here. But it still couldn't reach, it would just reach the top of the cage, and then I'd have to get on a ladder and shovel it off. With the excavator, I could drive alongside of it and reach over with this scoop, but you're not getting that much material dumped at a time, and the tracks are running all over the area. So having that wheel loader with the extending boom really does make a big difference, being able to get it up over there and onto the material. So that's it. What do you say, hon?
I say there's a very big garter snake right in the second plant that you're standing by.
Oh, wonderful. Little angels, taking our little garden caretakers. Fairies. There's Timmy with the... So that's it for today's video. Just wanted to show you the rolling down the paper mulch. We'll see how well this works over the next year or two. Hopefully it works well, because it's not cheap. The hardwood bark mulch is not cheap. It's $400 a load for 10 yards, $40 a yard. And we've already been through 20 yards so far. And we just ordered another 10 to try and finish this job up and mulch some of the other plants that have got to be mulched. So that's it for today's video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. And by all means, folks, stay safe and take good care of yourselves, and don't get overheated. Bye-bye now.